what's Trump teaching right now? Trump's teaching, if your ideology is strong and you're confident in that, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter how it looks, because how it looks before mattered, right? You do not want to be on 60 Minutes and get exposed. You don't have to hide in the darkness anymore.
No.
Leave your air of invincibility at the door. It's time for Carl and Mike.
Welcome, Carl Mike. I'm Carl.
I'm Mike.
And we're here at our Corner Bakery Cafe. This is our home.
I'm still amazed that after, what's it been, 2 years?
Yeah.
No, it's been over 2 years.
October 2014. America was a happy little place.
How time flies, doesn't it?
Pre-Donald.
In the 2 years we've been here, we've had maybe 3 people come up and say,
What's that?
"What are you doing?"
Yeah.
You haven't been hassled by the people here. They've been great.
2 or 3 of Dallas's finest police officers next door
Yeah.
here. Yeah, people don't really get in other people's business.
Yeah, and what few people that have bothered to comment on it, they like the background noise, which is kind of a surprise. It makes the editing easier
Yes.
for you folks out there that edit and don't really know that much about it, like me. It makes editing a lot easier. The ambient noise.
So
Don't know why.
It's our little trademark.
Yeah, but people like the authenticity. Don't you love that word? All of a sudden, we're talking about authenticity.
Well, you can't get more real than Carl and Mike, can you?
No, I don't think
We're
you can.
pretty authentic
Yeah,
with what we feel.
and how we say it.
Just like any other, we're influenced by the media and things like that, even though we try to be independent thinkers.
Well, for the most part, I don't think we have. We don't have governors. We don't have people telling us what we can say and how we can say it, and what words we can use and what we can't. One of the good things about doing a podcast, you can be who you are, for better or worse.
That's true.
Sometimes a little of both.
Yeah. I'm discouraged about America right now. I don't know if we make it as a country. I don't know if we survive the Trump thing. I just saw North Carolina legislators decided, because we have a Democrat coming in, the Democrat governor, so they wanted to strip him of his powers. I think the partisan and the ideology thing.
Now you have to define who they are.
The Republican
Control
state
legislator
of North Carolina,
Oh, yes.
because it was a Democrat coming in, and so there's this, whether it's the Supreme Court.
So he was not a member of their club?
He wasn't a member of the club, so they were going to strip him of power, so he couldn't do anything, basically, be a figurehead.
You suppose it had to do with the fact that it was a new governor, or that he was a Democrat? Do you think they would have done the same thing if it was a Republican
Michael, I
governor?
don't think he would have at all.
No, I don't think so either.
And it's just stuff like that, McConnell's thing with the Supreme Court. This is all pre-Trump.
What did McConnell say?
Where he said, "I'm not going to do the Supreme Court. I'm not going to let Obama." So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
this Republican strain now, and you know what? I think the Democrats need to grow a pair to fight this, because there's this Republican thing now. Whether it started with the redistricting and it started with the kind of voter suppression, and there's this kind of movement now that we're going to do what we want, and we'll do in any way, shape, or form to make that happen. That we have the power and you don't. Now you add Trump into the mix, which probably embodies that more than anything. And I don't know. I don't know if America, as we knew it, makes it. I'm hopeful for the Bernie Sanders element, but unless it gets at the grassroots levels now, I think the Democrats seceded all the grassroots, all the local stuff, and so this shit bubbles up now all over the place. And I don't know, maybe it's just the country's red and that's the way it wants to go. But I think with democracy and maybe I'm too idealistic. I just don't know if it's going to survive as a pillar of democratic democracy as it had for the 250 years up to that. And I know it's been ugly all the way through and stuff like that, but do you have any hope to give me?
Not really.
Well, let me add one other thing. The other problem is there's too many other Trumps out in the world. Putin is a Trump. The Filipino guy is a Trump. Head of Turkey is a Trump. Pretty much every Middle East country is a Trump. Netanyahu of Israel is a Trump. There's too many Trumps.
Yes, I'm concerned about Trump. What I'm really concerned about are his nominations and selections for different things. The one I read about this morning that I thought was interesting was a guy who's going to be the ambassador to Israel.
He's
You
a
heard
Trump.
about that guy?
Yeah.
He doesn't believe in a two-state solution.
Yeah, and I think Netanyahu scraps the Iran deal.
Yeah.
Just they're going to create what they want.
I think at this point, everybody just needs to take a powder, sit back, and let them overreach, because I think that's what's going to happen.
So
and then we're going to have to clean up the mess afterwards. But this is their opportunity to get what they want, or what they think they want, because they want us to go back to Andy of Mayberry or some other kind of better time that they got in their mind, that it was better somehow back in the day. And I guess the question is, whose day? The time periods vary by how old you are.
Absolutely.
Because
So the
somebody
Donald
that's 30
Trump,
years
Mayberry
old can't
thing,
pine
they
for
don't
the
even know.
50s. They weren't even spunk at that point. You know?
Exactly.
And so the divide in this country seems to be becoming more crystal clear, more obvious what the divide is. And the thing that happened this last week, I'll share you this, which I found interesting, is the word I'm using right now because I haven't figured out what other word to use. When our kids were in high school, they were band nerds, and the dads all got together to help the kids load and unload the equipment, and they were called Pit Pops. And there was a band that was started, kind of a garage band, that was a bunch of dads that used to play together. I used to play in different bands, you know, so they had abilities as drummers or guitar players or vocals or whoever. And they started a band. And it was started out to be fun. Well, then they started playing at local clubs and restaurants around town, and people had them play for parties. They were making money being paid for parties and weddings and different kinds of rock events and stuff like that. And, you know, so they were doing good and having a good time. And it was a distraction for all the dads from what they normally do, whatever their jobs are, whether it's an accountant,
Right.
A carpenter, somebody that owns a antique mall, whatever, right? Well, they got together. This is kind of a long way of giving you the background. So all these people from diverse backgrounds got together and played and had a good time. And so they were practicing this last week, got together to practice, and a couple of the guys were off talking in one of the bedrooms at the house where they were practicing. They came out and told everybody, one of the guys came out and told everybody in the band, I have an announcement to make, I'm quitting the band, which was a big deal because these guys have been playing together for, like, they've been together longer than the Beatles, actually.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And so, you know, they've been together the last 12 to 15 years. I can't. So, and they said, why? Why are you quitting? And he goes, I can't be on the same stage as some of y'all who voted for Trump. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So this is somebody standing up for what he believes in, and a lot of the people in the band, and I think there's maybe 6 or 8 people in the band. 3 of them voted for Hillary, and the rest of them voted for Trump. Okay. And so they were all really taken back, going, "Why? What's And he said, "I just can't. I can't be around it. I can't be around people that voted for Trump. I can't be on stage with them. I can't be." And so that several of them really took it personally. And one of the guys was telling me about this, and he said, I really took it personally. He said, would you do something like that to me? And I said, no, I wouldn't. But I said, I understand Roger's point of view. I totally get it. He doesn't want to be around people that voted for Trump or that believe the way he does. And so I looked up that statement, you're judged by the people you keep. I think it's attributed to Aesop, if I'm finding this right. I don't know, but it goes back hundreds of years, so it should come as no surprise. There's been multiple iterations of that along the time, and I'm thinking, okay, yeah. Do you want to be associated with the people at his rallies? The guy that stood up and hit somebody, now they've apologized this week and made nice. It doesn't matter. That happened. Those feelings are still buried deep in that guy, and they're there. And the bigots and the racist, whether it's neo-Nazi party, the KKK, or all these right-wing militias that support Trump, that he didn't distance himself from. In no uncertain terms, it's not enough to say we don't agree with that. It's like, I don't want your vote. That's distancing.
Right.
I don't want to be associated with you. I don't believe the way you do. I don't want to have anything to do with you. That was I guess the biggest thing that's happened that I've been personally seen that's happened since he's been in. So that's somebody standing up for what they believe, Roger, and saying, I'm drawing a wall here, and I don't want to be around any of this or people that support it in any fashion or another. And then, the people always would be, yeah, but Hillary. And I'm going, she's out of the equation now, dude. She's out of the equation. And he's now putting together a group of people that are like-minded or worse, that are looking to do everything they can to dismantle the federal government.
Okay, so that shows the depth of the divide.
Oh yeah, and a clearer definition. It becomes less gray and more white and black. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And I don't know, if that's the right answer to that. Should have the tech guys all met with Trump the other day? Al Gore met with Trump. Should they meet? I mean, should they separate?
No,
they shouldn't meet.
No, I don't think so, because what he's trying to do is he's trying to polish the turd with them. He tried to polish the turd with Romney. Romney comes away looking like a complete idiot because he used him.
I do think
he
he did.
used him. Did he use Gore? Yes, I think he used Gore, but we're not going
to show that he was open-minded, and then he chooses the opposite of Gore. And I don't get that part. People he's choosing, why even meet with Gore and them and then choose somebody like that? Choose a climate denier.
Because he wants to have the appearance of somebody
but you are
that's
judged
bipartisan.
by your actions. All right, the action of having a meeting with Gore and putting a climate denier as head of the EPA.
That's the way I used to think too.
Balanced.
Is that people are judged by their actions, but his actions on grabbing a pussy, it didn't have any effect on him. And a bunch of the other quotes and things that he's done, and the fact that he keeps promising that he's going to release his tax returns.
So what does that tell us?
It tells you everything you need to know if we're listening.
But it didn't matter. Everybody knew all that. Believe me. There's not that many uninformed voters. It didn't matter.
Yeah, I think there probably are a lot of them.
I think less than you think anymore. I mean, yes, there's people that turn it out.
Well, there's people
you
that
would have still got the highlights from
There's
Trump.
people that are informed and not informed.
You're saying a lot of people didn't know about the pussy grabbing. A lot of people didn't know about the disability.
My mom voted for Trump. She just we started talking. She just read for the first time, and she reads.
Right.
And is informed. She feels like she is, about fake news. Yesterday.
Yeah, well, I think that one has crept up on people.
Well, you know what I think? I was thinking about that. What is it that's crept up about it? I mean, the whole birther thing, that was fake news.
Yeah.
But it wasn't called fake news.
We've got a fake news in
It wasn't.
It wasn't called fake news.
Right. Somebody branded it fake news. So now all of a sudden we've got
it's called birther.
We've got I know.
Right.
But that was just one thing. So fake news is a bigger basket. We can throw stuff into it now. Yeah. Birther was just something that's now in the basket.
But the guy was the birther in chief, got elected president. What does that say about our country?
Well, it says that everybody's got different facts.
Yeah. A liar, a pussy grabber, climate denier. I mean, none of it mattered. And you could argue that there's, the Soviets went against, all sorts of things.
And that's why, he invited all these people from Silicon Valley, all the tech people.
Right.
Except for Twitter. He's got a pissing war going with Twitter, so Twitter wasn't included.
I thought Twitter
because
just wasn't big enough.
Not big enough.
3 kids were there.
Twitter's bigger than any of his kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
All 3 kids were there.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to rub elbows with the tech people.
All 3. Trump spawn does not a Twitter make.
Trump has already, if you want to know his presidency, he's already doing it. He's going to do what he wants. He's not going to do the businesses. He didn't return the tax returns, and when the journalists put all the cries of things, he's going to say, "So fucking what?"
Yeah. So
I'm president.
here's the journalists doing their thing again, lying. And so what? So the tech people, I can't believe that they allowed themselves to be used by him.
Well, the argument is,
When are people going to say enough? I'm not going to and actually come out and say I have been asked to come, or wait until Trump announces that they've asked these people and said, yes, I was asked, but I am not coming, and this is why. This is why. When I have been waiting for over a fucking year for somebody, anybody, to grow a pair of balls and stand up and be a leader to this son of a bitch. And nobody has.
I think there has been some people.
Who?
I can't remember.
Exactly. And they're not around now.
Well, a lot of the musicians aren't going to do his inaugural. The Washington,
Yeah.
D.C.
Yeah, I heard about it.
bands, Garth Brooks. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I understand the fact that the tech leaders, the idea of having access to him or being able to communicate through some channels is important to have that communication. Regardless if they like it or not, Trump represents power. The president is a powerful office, and to just distance yourself from it gives you no chance to have a voice to possibly influence.
Well, and I'm sure that's what Romney thought, is that he may have a voice to be able to
Yeah,
temper it. But
Romney was such a obvious attacker that
he
why he thought he
stood
would.
up to him.
Yeah,
But then he
wussed,
and
because
that-
he's a wuss. He's always been a wuss.
And that's why when I
Romney
saw that image of that puppy with its head up that other dog's ass,
for our
that's
suck
perfect.
ups, our last episode? Yes.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. In
Or
Romney's
kissing
case,
his
for
foot.
Sure.
I mean, I can't believe these people are doing this. It's shameful, and I find it embarrassing.
So you believe all those tech presidents? Apple was there.
Absolutely.
Google was there.
Apple doesn't need Trump.
You know who stood up?
Elon Musk doesn't need Trump. Oracle doesn't need Trump. None of them need Trump.
Well, they do because they can regulate. If Trump goes back all in on all oil ahead of emerging technologies and shuts them out or cuts off the tax breaks or whatever, you want to try to avoid that.
He's not going to do that. He's not going to do that. There would be too many. He's not going to do that.
I think he's going to do quite a bit. He's got Rick Perry as head of the department he couldn't even remember. Rick Perry's now
maybe
in charge of energy.
my guess is Rick Perry will probably forget why he's even there.
Well, Rick Perry's not going to be for solar energy.
No.
He's going to be for oil.
Well, then
He's got a bunch of oil men.
Well, then he gets to fight with the coal people.
Yeah. But I'm saying that's where that whole world is that
Yeah.
Trump's put himself in with. Anyway, the left, it's got to be more than reading about it and being outraged.
Yeah.
And, and I'm put myself in this, I guess, read a lot and get outraged. So I'm well informed. So you read about it, but they're the ones doing the actions. At some point there has to be
to be pushback.
Outrage, and now we can press on Facebook we can press a angry face. Mm-hmm. Until there's action on the left that's more than symbolic.
Well, I think.
Well, I mean, yes,
I think
they
a
need
lot
to
of
vote.
musicians not doing. I think that's them making a stand and
Yes,
saying,
musicians
and they're
are doing
basically,
that.
He's asking
He's the
them
only
to
one
come
making
up.
the stand.
He's asking them to come up. He would hire any and all of those people to do it
Right.
if they would do.
Right, he'd hire Springsteen
Right.
in a second.
Oh yeah, he would hire him in a second. But they're saying no, and that's what I'm saying. Romney should have said no. The tech guys should have said no. And so I applaud the people that are not going to perform.
Whether you're talking about this band member who said to his other band, "I'm sorry guys, I just can't associate with." You're saying what the people against Trump need to do is to silently protest by stepping out of their world. Whether it be a guy in a band with other Trump members, so your Trump friends, you need to defriend them on Facebook and you need to distance yourself from them.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
It
not
sounds
saying.
like that's what you're
well,
saying.
what I'm saying is, I understand why Roger did what he did, but I also understand the other guys
So
saying
you understand,
that.
and the other guys being Elon Musk and all the other.
And-
We're
and
talking
I-
the big, small
Okay.
moments here.
Yeah, but see, with Trump, when you back away as Apple or Elon Musk or somebody like that, what you're going to get, and this is the part that's the bully and the insidiousness that is him. He will tweet something about Elon Musk and how those,
Right.
those electric
But
cars
he
are
also
just
has
never
the
going
power
to make it.
fuck things up for Elon Musk. How far does Trump go? Does Trump become Putin 2? Putin 2 killed people. Putin 2, if you
Okay.
recall, put the oil head of the largest, would have been the equivalent of putting ExxonMobil's president in jail on
Well,
charges, and he directs his attorney
honestly,
general, and Sessions won't
I
do
would
it.
rather see that happen.
You'd rather see him play that card.
I want him. I want
Is
them
that
to
just another
overreach.
outrage?
I want.
That's just another day of outrage. Going to be some point Trump overreaches, and what? All the left is going to get off their Facebook feed.
No,
and
there's not going to be some point at which he overreaches. That's his life.
yes.
Somebody gave him some money up front, and he's
Wow.
been overreaching every day of his life.
Right.
And he's been successful in making money and notoriety.
So what the president
And
was
so-
able to do is going to be he's going to break that early on.
He's gonna be able to
he'll be
what?
the executive order king.
Absolutely.
He's going to make Obama look like a small potato.
Absolutely. He will do whatever he can, however he can, to make it happen. And
It's
do
just-
it.
it
Do
just-
it.
just
Yeah.
going to be lawsuit
The
city.
rules have never applied to him. He's always lived outside them, and he's been successful financially and celebrity-wise by doing that.
This is
We've
why I
seen
don't think
who he
America.
is.
This is why I worry about America making it, because it's not just Trump. It's that Republican state in North Carolina knocking the governorship out. It's the delegitimizing anyone who's
Well-
a Democratic president by there's the delegitimizing any Democrat, whether it be Clinton
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
or Obama, by creating fake scandals, fake news. He's a birther, so it's a delegitimizing if you're a Democrat, and that's becoming into
But that's
into
going to
law.
go straight to the Supreme Court,
and the Supreme
there's-
Court's
and
going to get changed.
not any group of justices on the Supreme Court that are going to uphold their actions to do that. If there is,
I think
then
there
we're some.
absolutely
Then we're
is,
some.
and it's real easy to lose democracy forever, or for
Mm-hmm.
at least our lifetimes, or the next 50 years.
Well, or
because
what-
when these guys get in power, they can make laws to keep in power. Not
Mm-hmm.
that Trump personally will keep in power, but that ideology. And
Mm-hmm.
if they're willing to do it start doing it on a state level and stuff,
Oh, they've been doing it on state level for a long time.
But ratcheting up, led by their fearless leader Trump.
Yeah.
What's Trump teaching right now? Trump's teaching, if your ideology is strong and you're confident in that, you can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter how it looks,
Mm-hmm.
because how it looks before mattered. Right? You do not want to be on 60 Minutes and get exposed. You don't have to hide in the darkness anymore.
No.
Okay, you can be brazen. The North Carolinas try to attempt to redistrict blacks out, basically. Was right in front. The bathroom bill came back to bite them. So there is a line, I guess, right now, that since North Carolina was the only governor who lost, a Republican who lost in the country. But that was, so there is a line, but that line is, we need businesses to step up. Like
Yeah.
sports teams step up on the bathroom bill.
Well,
And that
they,
really
they
changed
did.
that.
Musicians and people like that stepped up too,
Right.
and so that's
So
good.
until
And so-
that-
but what I'm
So
saying is,
maybe
that's
maybe you're right. Maybe
that's
the
a
Elon Musks
pushback.
need to step up.
Yeah, the
maybe
people-
the tech
people-
guys should have said, no, you know what, we're not going.
It was just for show. That was just for show. Gore was for show.
Well, then maybe we learn from this that I'm not going to be a show puppet for you to show
Yeah.
that you're looking at both sides
Yeah.
and then making an informed decision. Because that's what it looked like.
No, they're looking like dancing monkeys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a title.
DiCaprio and Gore were just dancing monkeys because he
Yeah.
didn't change it. He didn't go, if Trump would have said, I met with them, I see some points, and I'm going to hire center right guy to lead energy, someone who recognizes climate is an issue, even though we may disagree on how to deal with it. He didn't do that. He went. I'm hiring a guy that denies that it even exists.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a learning stage. So maybe in a year, people will start standing up like Roger, and not going to meet
Yeah.
with Trump.
Yeah.
But then there's a danger in that too.
We're going to get into it, and my hope is, okay, you were asking me to give you some hope. My hope is that people start to realize that they played a role in putting this guy in power, and that he's overreaching and doing some stupid shit and some stuff that's not good for the country. That's my hope. The hardcores are going to just think he's the best since sliced bread until they don't get their
There's
job.
a percentage of
digging
America
coal
wanted
back.
to blow the whole system up, so he's
Yeah.
going to
Well,
do that.
and that's what I'm saying.
You're getting it.
Hey, this is my.
They're gonna blow up energy,
I
they're
was
gonna blow up
looking- I
EPA.
was looking for a global financial collapse. This may be what precedes that.
Yeah. China now is threatening GM. We're already starting. He hasn't even gotten in office yet.
Oh, Trump thinks he's a tough guy. Putin would bitch slap him. He personally probably has killed people.
Well, it turns out it looks like
Trump's a pussy.
he's personally pulled some levers on this election thing, right?
Yeah.
See, that should be more outrageous. There's an argument here for a coup was done
You know when they dropped that news for the first time?
a long time ago.
Yeah, you know what day it was?
What?
The same day that the pussy grabbing video broke.
Is that the same day?
Yeah. So if you're a
just fucked.
newscaster and you got, oh man, looks like the Russians may be hacking our election, which that's not good.
That's bad.
Or I got actual videotape over here and audio tape of Trump saying he could grab a pussy. Which one you gonna go with? Whoop, pussy.
See, Trump does so much that every day is something that it just
Yeah.
blends in. I mean, there's tape of him directly telling Putin to go get after Hillary.
Okay, here's another good headline. Ready? Pussy trumps Putin. I'm a
Pussy
copywriter.
Trump's Putin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a copywriter.
It did
Not a
on
good
that
one.
day. So I wish I was more hopeful. And then the argument could be that you needed to get so bad for people to rise up at some point. But the other argument is they did rise up on November 8th and they voted for him. And you can say, yes, Hillary did this, bad candidate, and Putin and the drips. It took a lot to get him there, but he's there.
What's that quote? You get the leaders you deserve. Is that right?
Hey,
Something
there's
like
some
that?
crises. What stops Trump from
Nothing.
from suspending Constitution?
So far, nothing. I'm waiting for an actual leader. I'm waiting for somebody to actually stand up and say, enough. This has got to stop. Let's move ahead with making it stop.
Remember Ayn Rand's famous book where the top 1% basically stopped working and striking against...
Was that Atlas Shrugged? Or
yeah,
was it,
I think it was
okay.
Atlas Shrugged.
Okay.
Or Fountainhead, one of the two. I
Okay.
think.
And they just quit working?
Remember, yeah, that was the whole... John Gall, right? He was,
Who quit working? The 1% quit
Yeah,
working?
the 1%, the ones who were
The wealthy.
enlightened, right?
Yeah.
It's just to show America that, hey, and maybe we need to do that. Maybe the musicians and maybe that's the leader you need to stand up to him. Just say, we're shutting it down. I like Jerry Brown the other day in California. He said, fuck him. We'll if he messes with NASA to stop, because that's one of the concerns. So did you hear all that?
What?
They're saving data. Everybody's
Oh, yeah.
saving data like crazy because they think he's going to
We'll
gut
throw it-
NASA.
yeah.
And Jerry Brown the other day said, fuck him. If he guts NASA, we'll launch our own goddamn satellite. That was some balls. You need a guy like that.
And that's what I'm saying. Somebody's standing up to him and go, fuck you. A lot of
Decreases
the
the
stuff that
divide.
he says is bluster because that's who he is.
It's, at the end of the day, we said this a million times, it's all about Trump. If you want to know what Trump is, it's... So you're saying...
He's a 70-year-old grown man. He ain't gonna change.
No.
Barnacle, Joe in the morning this morning.
You get what you voted for.
You get what you voted for. Don't think he's going to change when he gets in office. Don't think he's going to
No,
change when he
as we
sits
said to
behind
you, as
it.
I said to you months
Yeah.
ago, it's only going to ramp up.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, he's just going to think, you know what? Everybody said I was done. Even today, when he talks on the thing, he talks about, how great he was. It's all about him. And he's going to say, I don't need, the daily briefings. I thought that was, Michael Moore really came out and said, hey, motherfucker, you don't do these briefings and we get attacked, we're going.
It's
on
yours.
You.
It's your lab.
Yeah. But he don't need to.
No,
Because he's smart enough.
like
He's smarter
a
than the
smart
generals,
guy.
and he's
I'm
a smart guy.
I mean, he's a
He don't
smart
need the
guy.
briefings. See, I just don't know if America survives it. You're gonna have internal warfare
Yeah.
everywhere.
I wish I could help you, but I can't.
You
I can't.
we're kind of winding Carl and Mike down here, and I want to wind it down on a positive. Because we came in with this 7 years ago, 8 years ago, when we started these conversations. It was so hopey joy.
I got a can of popcorn yesterday in the mail. 3 different flavors. Big can of popcorn.
Really?
You know, those
Someone
holiday
gave that to
cans.
you?
You got your caramel. You got your stuff that looks like Cheetos because
Yeah,
it's got the
yeah.
orange powder.
We don't know what the fuck that
It's
is.
not found in nature on it.
Yeah, it's not in
but
nature.
it's tasty.
It is tasty.
It's real tasty. And then just basic popcorn.
So you got you bought your big canister. You're gonna put there right in front of the TV. Watch the show.
Yeah.
But the show is America's collapse.
Yeah, no, we're just going to sit back in the lawn chairs out by the fire pit and watch the glow. Watch it melt. Watch it burn. We're going to watch it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to sit in the backyard by the fire pit and watch it
Look,
burn.
honey, there's Tulsa up in flames.
Hey, watch it burn. Hey,
Yeah.
look here, we're on the TV. On the TV, the handheld TV set here, right there, like that there.
So you can actually put it on your lap and watch it right from your lap, right, just in your little hand.
Technology is wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So getting back to we want something positive.
Yeah.
And you and I keep going back and forth on
Technology.
technology. Technology has not served us well during this.
I don't blame technology for Trump.
No, I don't blame technology for Trump at all, but what helped build him up. And I'm talking about old technology. I'm talking about the TV,
Fox News.
the TV sets. Oh, not just Fox News, shit. MSNBC. When he was first blowing up, he'd call in every fucking morning.
Yeah.
Every morning.
Joe?
Yeah, every morning. They finally pulled the plug on him. But every morning, there was something else about Trump. And I was going, really?
He owned the airwaves.
So what? Yeah, no, he still does.
Yeah.
He
Well,
still
as
does.
president, it's guaranteed
He
you're going to own
still
the
does.
airwaves.
Oh, speaking of owning the airways, this is something that I posted too that pisses me off. He's getting ready to take over Radio Free Europe.
I saw that.
And America.
They changed the rules. That's again
Yes.
the Republicans again doing that shit.
Yep. Yep.
So that it's now run by an appointee, so it's politicized.
Yes.
So Voice of America will change its voice depending on who's in office. Dark days.
So you're looking for something positive.
Thanks,
and
Michael.
I'm still digging in the bottom of my pockets. I can't find shit. I got dick, Carl.
The positive has to come. The
About
only
that.
positive that
The-
comes is when people stand up.
You know what the positive?
Say enough is
I'll
enough.
tell you this: we made it through Vietnam War, and we made it through Richard Nixon. I think we can make it through this little pussy, but we need somebody to stand up. In the Vietnam War, who stood
you
up?
see-
No, who stood up on the Vietnam War to stop it?
People.
Students and
Students.
people. Okay, that's what stopped the Vietnam War. Who stopped Richard Nixon? A couple of reporters, citizens,
Right.
stood up. Citizens stood up and stopped.
So how
And
can
that's
Carl
what-
and Mike stand up? How do we stand up?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Well, we need to think about that.
Huh?
It's not enough to just talk about it.
No, it's not. I don't know
Because
the
Democrats
answer
do that real well. Is they talk and they chatter and they are aghast and they sign petitions.
That's armchair protesters. I've heard that there were going to be protests on the day that he gets inaugurated.
Right.
I'm at it. I haven't done anything like that since college, but I'm at
I
it.
think it's time.
Yeah,
I think I'll join you.
yeah. So
All
I
right.
think I think it should
That's
be
a step in the right direction.
All right.
Peace.
Out.